It's not time for the Black community to speak up. No. It's time for the rest of us to stop, reflect, and really examine the role that we have played through our indifference, our silence, and our inaction. I would like to take this time to apologize to my Black friends, my brothers and sisters, and to the Black community as a whole. As a member of the Latino community here in Toronto, Canada, Los Angeles, where I grew up, and Texas, where I was born and have a lot of family, I'm sorry that when I heard families speak of mejorando la raza, that we had to improve the race of the bloodlines by marrying someone of a lighter skin tone. I'm sorry that I did not say something. I'm sorry that I just shook my head, smiled awkwardly, and dismissed it as just an improper comment. I'm sorry that I didn't speak up and shut it down and make it very clear that in this family, that type of thinking ends here. That we will not be passing on to our next generations that kind of ideology. No mas. As a member of the Christian community, I am a son of a preacher man, and both my grandparents were pastors and missionaries. And I'm sorry that I have perfected being reactionary to social injustice, but failed to be an effective agent of change. That change is today and now. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do if he was here with all that is happening right now in the world? Well, if you know Jesus, you know very well that he would be very livid. And he would be leading the protest and be fully engaged in dismantling the systems of oppression and fighting to change unjust policies. You know what though? Jesus isn't here anymore. In fact, Jesus hasn't been around for over 2,000 years. You and I is all we've got. As a member of the gay community in Toronto and Los Angeles, shout out to my Dorcas. And yes, I went there. And I'm going there. And yes, I could skip this part of the conversation in order to avoid making anyone feel uncomfortable. But what truth can I speak if I can't or won't speak my own truth? Do you feel me? So as a member of the gay community, I'm sorry that when I heard things like, I'll sleep with Black men, but I wouldn't date them. I'm sorry that I didn't speak up. I'm sorry that I let that slide. I'm sorry that we have objectified Black men in our community, and in doing so, denied them of the respect that they deserve. I'm sorry I was happy to march on the Pride Parade, but that I got upset when Black Lives Matter staged a sit-down, bringing the parade to a complete stop until their voices were heard and their list of demands met, or at least agreed to be met. I'm sorry that in doing so, I negated that it was Black gay men and trans men and women that made Pride possible and the fight for equality possible. I'm sorry that I truly didn't really grasp the urgency of the Black Lives Matter movement, that all they want is to be treated as equals. I'm sorry that when someone objected and said, well, all lives matter, that I allowed them to diminish my voice and I backed off, even though I knew that they were missing the whole point. I could go on and on. There's so much I'm sorry for. And that's why I say that now is not the time for the Black community to speak up. It's time for the rest of us to speak up. Thank you for listening. Now go speak up.